How did my business partner try to frame me for embezzlement? Two FBI agents stood in my living room holding a warrant while my wife held our daughter in the hallway, both of them crying. I read the charges 3 times because my brain couldn't process the words. Wire fraud, embezzlement, $1.2 million missing from our company's operating accounts. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped the document. One agent asked if I wanted to come voluntarily or if they needed to use the cuffs. I looked at my 6-year-old watching her father get accused of being a criminal. I said I'd come willingly. The whole ride to the field office, I kept thinking there had to be a mistake. I built Weston and Pratt Construction with my partner Neil for 8 years. I knew every dollar that moved through our accounts. Neil called me that night after I posted bail. His voice was thick with concern. I can't believe this is happening, he said. The forensic accountant found wire transfers going back 18 months, all initiated from your login credentials. I told him I never made those transfers. He went quiet for a beat too long before saying he believed me, but something in his pause made my stomach turn. The next morning, our biggest client called to terminate their contract. Word had already spread. By Friday, 3 more clients had pulled out. Our company was bleeding out, and I was the knife everyone blamed. My wife barely spoke to me. She kept asking how we'd pay the mortgage if my account stayed frozen. I didn't have an answer. The evidence looked airtight. Every fraudulent transfer originated from my work computer during hours I was logged in. The money moved through shell companies before vanishing offshore. The FBI had timestamps, IP addresses, and login records all pointing directly at me. I hired a forensic IT specialist named Dwayne, who owed me a favor from a renovation job I'd done for him at cost. He spent 3 days combing through our company servers. On the 4th day, he called me at 2 a.m. Someone installed a remote access Trojan on your machine, he said. It's been there for almost 2 years. Whoever planted it could control your computer from anywhere. Log in as you, initiate transactions as you. I asked if he could trace who did it. He said he already had. The Trojan was installed from Neil's office computer. I didn't confront Neil immediately. I needed more. Dwayne pulled the metadata from the shell companies and found registration documents with digital signatures. The timestamp on one signature matched a day Neil had posted on Instagram from a resort in Cancun. Same minute, same cellular carrier, same geolocation data. He'd gotten sloppy. I drove to our office at midnight and used my master key. Neil's desk was clean, but his filing cabinet had a false bottom. Inside were bank statements from an account in Belize with his name on it. The balance showed $1.1 million deposited over 18 months in amounts matching our missing funds. He'd kept records of his own crime because he never expected anyone to look. I photographed everything with timestamps and backed it up to 3 different cloud accounts. Monday morning, I walked into our office like nothing had changed. Neil was already at his desk, tie loosened, looking stressed. He stood when he saw me. How are you holding up? He asked with manufactured sympathy. I told him I wanted to go over the books together, see if we missed anything that could help my case. His jaw tightened for just a second before he smiled and said sure. We sat in the conference room with laptops open. I pulled up the forensic report from Dwayne and turned my screen toward him. His face went white when he saw the Trojan analysis. What is this? He asked, voice cracking. I said it was proof that someone installed remote access software on my computer from his machine. He started stammering about shared networks and possible hackers. I pulled out the photographs of his Belize account statements. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. That's when the conference room door opened. My attorney walked in with 2 FBI agents, the same ones who'd arrested me. Behind them was the forensic accountant who'd originally built the case against me. I'd spent the weekend coordinating this moment. Neil shot up from his chair so fast it crashed backward. This is a setup, he shouted. He's trying to frame me for what he did. One agent held up a tablet showing the digital signature metadata Dwayne had pulled. Mr. Pratt, we have evidence that wire transfers were initiated using a remote access tool installed from your workstation. We also have bank records showing an account in your name received funds matching the stolen amounts. Neil pointed at me, face purple with rage. I built this company. He was nothing before me. The forensic accountant stepped forward. The shell company registrations contain digital fingerprints traced to your devices. The geolocation data places you at specific locations during key transactions. Neil lunged at me across the table. Both agents caught him before he could make contact. He was screaming that I was a liar, that I'd planted everything, that I'd ruined him. They cuffed him right there in our conference room. As they walked him out, he twisted around and locked eyes with me. I should have buried you deeper, he spat. I didn't say anything. I just watched 8 years of partnership dissolve into a federal escort. My attorney patted my shoulder. All charges against you will be dropped by end of week, she said. The forensic trail is undeniable. I sat alone in that conference room for an hour, staring at the photographs of his hidden accounts, trying to understand how someone I'd trusted completely had spent 2 years constructing my destruction. Neil pled guilty to avoid trial and got 14 years. My accounts were unfrozen, and 3 of the clients who'd dropped us came back. My wife finally slept through the night again. The company is mine now.